All right, just wanted to quickly give the resolutions to these two kid stories that I began last time. I didn't want to leave you with a cliffhanger. No, I didn't want to leave you with a cliffhanger, but not leave you with a cliffhanger. So the resolution of, but I've used all of my pocket change. Now for the rest of the story. So recall that when we left, they were in the car on the way home, and Lola says to Charlie, are there any seals in your animal book, Charlie? And I say, I didn't buy the book because I didn't have enough money. Lola says, I thought you had lots of money because you saved it up. No, Lola, I say, I didn't have enough for my book after I gave you the money for the seal toy. The very next day, Lola starts to save things up. Whenever we get pocket money, Lola puts hers straight into her piggy bank. And she doesn't skip to the end of her book anymore. I'll save this for later. And one of these, and this. When we go to the duck pond, Lola only uses a little bit of her bread, and she even gives some to me. I say, thanks, Lola. I've nearly saved up enough pocket money to buy an animal atlas. When Dad takes us to the bookshop, I'm definitely going to buy it. And Lola says, I've been saving up too, Charlie. I might buy a book about seals, bark, bark. At the bookshop, I say, oh no, this costs more than the book in the zoo shop. I haven't got enough money. Don't worry, Charlie, says Lola. You can have some of my pocket money because I've saved lots. Thank you, Lola, I say. Then I say, oh, what's that in your pocket, Lola? It's my tangerine, Charlie. I've been saving it up just in case we need a snack. So notice then, just like virtue ethics says, we tend towards extremes. She was at the extreme of not saving anything. Now she's at the extreme of saving everything, even half-eaten tangerines. Also interesting to note, some people are concerned that by Charlie doing what he's doing, Lola's not learning her lesson about saving. Turns out she kind of did. She learned her lesson about saving not because Charlie gave her natural consequences of not saving, but because Charlie demonstrated love and care and compassion and concern for her. That was the lesson she then learned. Oh man, care and concern and all that stuff. Charlie didn't get what he wanted because of me. I better change my ways. And so much so that I can then help my brother then. So he modeled a certain type of behavior that then I can model back. Interesting. The end of Frederick. Remember where we left off last time? The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But little by little, they'd nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. Then they remembered what Frederick had said about sun rays and colors and words. What about your supplies, Frederick? They asked. Close your eyes, said Frederick, as he climbed on a big stone. Now I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how their golden glow? And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? And how about the colors, Frederick? They asked anxiously. Close your eyes again, Frederick said. And when he told them of the blue periwinkles, the red poppies and the yellow wheat, and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. And the words, Frederick? Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then as if from a stage he said, Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. Sorry. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat, and winter is last with little cold feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are four? Think of a year with one less, or one more. When Frederick had finished, they all applauded, but Frederick, they said, you are a poet. Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, I know it. Oh, what a sweet story. Isn't it beautiful how it ends? Except that it doesn't. That's not the end. That can't be the end of the story. They still have no food. Now, obviously, this is an author and an illustrator, so art is going to win. That's fantastic, but it still doesn't solve the food shortage problem. What Dr. Shrapi thinks is interesting is his poem is about 4 mice, not 5. He says, imagine a year with one less or one more. Like we had here, my friends, we had one more mouse than we could feed. Frederick is saying, look, you all made a mistake by feeding me. Possibly. Or maybe there are some other possibilities which you all came up with in the discussion board. So I'll probably add to the discussion board some other things I want you guys to look at for the next discussion for the next time. But I also want you to consider the way that these stories ended. Does that change anything for any of the ethical theories we talked about, or for your own interpretation of what you think Charlie should have done, or the other mice should have done? All right, see you next time.